This is my grandpa, and he will be telling you about our family. There will be pictures and talking. Okay.
Okay. Well, Monet, as you know, we've had a family reunion in our family for about 40 years now. Since 1973, we have a family reunion every year. And during the family reunion, we always tell the story about how our family got started. Our family got started in 1850 when an old German by the name of Frederick Daly came to North Carolina. And when Frederick came to North Carolina, I think he had 8 slaves. And from those 8 slaves, he had a child with one of those, which was the start of our family. And that child's name was Sandy George Daly. And probably somewhere around 1865, and this would be somewhere toward the end of slavery, they moved from North Carolina to Mississippi, Grenada, Mississippi, which is where our family home is. And the way that our family home kind of got started was when Frederick and his slaves moved there, and once the child came of age, Frederick by then, he had other children. And one of the things that Frederick did was he gave his male children money so they could buy land. And even though he had one black child, he gave him just as much money as he gave his other children. So that child, Sandy George, married a free black woman. And so they had children. And from that set of children came my grandfather, my grandfather, which would be my mother's father. And they had, him and his wife, they had 7 children, of which my mother was the youngest. And my mother, she married my dad, and they had 5 children. Was it 5? Let's see. Yeah, 5 children, of which I am the oldest. And I do have a half-brother, Curtis, in Fort Wayne, Indiana, but I was the oldest. And then obviously what we had is that, I married June, your grandmother, our son Dante, and then from Dante he married your mother, and then 3 children, from there. So that's pretty much that's pretty much it. Now, as I said, we have a family reunion every year, and we get together as a celebration and reminder of all that came before. And we always pay tribute to the old German because of the way he handled things. And the one thing that we always do is that we look back and we say, okay, what happened? Well, our family has lots of teachers. We have some doctors. We have many professional people as well as working class. But it's really interesting how we have a lot of teachers and nurses in our family. And I would say that a lot of that has to do with coming from the South. And back then, there was only so many types of jobs that they could get. Some of the jobs that were easy for them to get, again, was teaching. Some of it was in their nursing field. But later, my parents, they moved from Mississippi. They moved north to Toledo, Ohio, to where, as they moved north, those where you started finding jobs in the motor vehicle industry, manufacturing, those type of things. My dad worked for a company called Kaiser Jeep, Kaiser Aluminum, and basically what he did was that he cut steel. And so he was able to make a living to be able to take care of